contact knee injury about 5 days ago, in which she told head coach Gina Ariema that she felt something funny in her right knee, and she ended up missing the game against Maryland as well as their most recent game against Minnesota. So she missed those last two games. UConn won both those games by a wide margin. But now that the medical reports come out, it's now reported that Azzi Fudd has a lateral meniscus tear as well as a torn ACL in her right knee, which means that she'll be missing the entirety of the season, the remainder of the season. And this is coming off the heels of last season, in which Azzi Fudd missed substantial time as well due to an injury to the same knee as well. This knee has been an issue, cause for concern for Azzi since she's been at UConn. Her freshman year, she missed a little bit of time as well with some tendonitis and knee pain. And like we discussed, she missed some time last year, quite a bit of time last year with the knee injury. And, coupled that with the fact now, like we said, suffering this ACL injury. Now the question now becomes, should Azzi Fudd just prepare for the WNBA draft, or should she come back to UConn for her senior season? UConn, the past 3 to 4 years, has struggled to stay healthy with Paige Bueckers and Azzi Fudd only playing a combined 17 games together since they've both been at UConn. And when they both came in the same class, people were talking about this being one of the best backcourts in UConn history, or at least having the potential to be. And now that Fudd suffers this injury, now it puts UConn in a precarious situation, because I don't think anyone expects UConn to truly contend for a national championship. When people think of the best teams in women's college basketball, South Carolina, Virginia Tech, and maybe Baylor, maybe Stanford. But in my mind, when I think of one of the best teams in college basketball right now, women's college basketball, it's South Carolina and Virginia Tech, and it's not particularly close to me. I think South Carolina is heads and heels above everybody right now. But getting back to UConn, with Azzi, coming into the season, Azzi was, in my projections, one of the 10 best players in women's college basketball. No question about it. One of the best guards, a top 3 guard in women's college basketball movement. I was assuming that she was healthy. And based off the film I've seen off of her so far, it's enough for me to say, okay, she can get drafted as a top 10 player in the WNBA draft. So from my perspective, based on what I've seen so far, I don't think she needs another year at UConn. But I said the same thing with Paige Bueckers. I don't think she needed another year at UConn. If anything, just to build strength. But in terms of skill set, she didn't need another year. I said the same thing with Azzi. In terms of skill set, I don't think Azzi needs another year at UConn. Could she use another year to get bigger and build up strength? Sure. But just in terms of pure skill set and feel for the game, no, I think Azzi's ready. I think Azzi's ready for the WNBA right now. So then the question, so now, like we talked about, should she forego her senior season, or should she declare for the WNBA draft? And this is where the NIL deals start to play such a huge factor, because something that Angel Reese alluded to after she won the national championship this past season was that she's making more money off of NIL deals than some WNBA players are making off of their salary. So I don't know what Azzi Fudd's NIL endorsement deals are looking like, but that plays a factor, because now, just speaking strictly financially, listen, the WNBA isn't going anywhere. Those NIL deals run up once you leave college. So now my question is, or my statement is, okay, AZ Fudd, if you're making more money in your NILs than you would offer potential first year salary in the WNBA, go ahead and stay another year. Get something out of this college experience. Stay another year. Get your NIL deal. Have the opportunity to compete for another national championship, and then, possibly get your master's degree as well while you're there. Just increase your time while you're at UConn, because the WNBA isn't going anywhere. And yes, people say, well, she might run the risk of getting injured. We can get injured in the WNBA as well. Yeah, you can get injured anywhere. It doesn't matter where you're at. That's why I don't really like the concept of injuries, especially with the NIL deals now where you're getting paid either way. Listen, you can get injured walking down the street. Yeah, you always have to run the risk of getting injured, but why not get something out of it? You come back healthy next season, you compete again for a national championship, you get your master's degree, you get paid more for NIL deals than you would from a WNBA salary. I see nothing wrong with that. Now, granted, this is all hinged upon the fact that, or the concept that she would be getting paid more off her NIL deals than she would from her WNBA salary. Now, if she would get paid more from her WNBA salary than she would from her NIL deals, then I would say, okay, start to consider foregoing your senior season and declaring for the draft. But that's the only caveat. Only if you would get paid more from your WNBA salary than you would from your NIL deals. That's the only reason you should go to the WNBA draft. If not, come back your senior season, get healthy, give yourself time to get healthy, because the WNBA season starts off right away. Boom, starts off right in May. So are you even giving yourself time to get ready? Take your time, give yourself time to be 100%, compete for a national championship again, get a master's degree, and give yourself another year to develop. And that's the counsel I would give Azzi Fudd if there's even consideration on what she should do for this upcoming season. But either way, we're praying for a speedy recovery for Azzi Fudd, who's not only one of the best players in women's college basketball, but overall just a great human being. Praying for a speedy recovery for her. But with that being said, guys, in our next segment, we are going to be recapping last night's matchup between the Bucks and the Celtics. Is this the Eastern Conference Finals preview? Was I right about Boston still being the best team in the Eastern Conference despite Milwaukee trading for Dame? Guys, we're going to cover all of that and then some, so be sure to stick around for that, guys. You're not going to miss it. Right back.